Hello everyone, welcome inside the Ontario Soccer Centre. We are underway here, Toronto FC2 and the Tampa Bay Rowdies. We, off the top, would like to apologize for the technical difficulties that have resulted in us entering the game in progress here, but we are just underway, just seconds underway here at the Ontario Soccer Centre. It's Toronto FC2 in red going from right to left. The Tampa Bay Rowdies in white going from left to right. I'm Matt Nicolantonio. Terry Dunfield is alongside me. Tampa Bay beat Toronto 4-0 at Al Lang Stadium back in April, so Toronto looking to get some revenge for that result just a few weeks ago. It was the second game of the season for both clubs. And Toronto has stumbled a little bit since then. We'll get into their struggles a little bit as we go. It's going to be ruled it is a Tampa Bay throw-in. That's thrown in for Georgi Ristov. He's back into the starting 11 here this evening. His 7th start of the season, and he has 5 goals on the season. That leads Tampa Bay. And out for the first corner of the night, Terry.
Yeah, Georgi Ristov, bit of a Tampa Bay legend, 111 appearances since 2013. Clever player, he'll play off the left-hand side. Look, Bode in the left back, he'll bomb forward. In that first game, they caused all sorts of problems down TFC's left side.
Darwin Jones swings it in, not taken cleanly by either side, and it's going to be ruled a goal kick by tonight's referee is Caroline Chenard. The assistants are Marie-Jean Gagnon-Chrétien and Chantal Boudreau, and the 4th official is Alexis Vaughn. That's Angelo Cavalluzzo making his 6th consecutive start for Toronto FC2. Thought we might see Mark Pace back in goal. Pace started the first 2 games of the season, including the game against Tampa Bay. But Pace was called up to Toronto FC after the injury to Clint Irwin, allowing Cavalluzzo to take over the reins, and he's been the man in charge ever since. Although I suspect we might see Pace on Wednesday afternoon when the Richmond Kickers visit the Ontario Soccer Centre.
Yes, Matt, I think it's a boost for Cavalluzzo to be given the start today, and full credit to him and Jason Bent for showing confidence in him. He's been excellent since coming in. Clint Irwin's now fit. Him and Bono are competing for that first team spot, and Pace at some point will play, possibly Wednesday.
5 goals conceded in 6 games for Cavalluzzo, 3 clean sheets. He has a save of the week under his belt, was named to a team of the week and a reserve for the team of the week. So a good start to the season for Angelo Cavalluzzo. Down at the other end, it's Matt Pickens. Get into him momentarily as Liam Fraser takes that to touch. Ashton Morgan is making his 2nd consecutive start for Toronto FC2, rehabbing a foot injury, trying to get back up with the first team. He'll be on the left side of that midfield line for Toronto. Yeah,
he'll play out wide in a wing-back formation, has lots of first-team experience with TFC, played 45 minutes last week against Bethlehem.
I imagine we'll see that amount increase tonight, perhaps up to a full hour or longer.
You didn't put it in, but you didn't bring your cat?
There's Joe Cole. Chavez. Ristov. This will come back. Pushed forward by Damien Lowe. One of 3 members of tonight's Tampa Bay lineup who have played every minute of all 9 games for Tampa Bay. Damien Lowe, Neil Collins, and Marcel Schaefer all have 810 minutes played.
Continuity in this team, also lots of experience. Bright start so far from the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Passing's been crisp, movement's been good off the ball. Real important today for Liam Fraser, tracking Joe Cole, who's given a little bit of freedom in behind Brown up top.
This is Darnell King, a Tampa Bay native who has made 8 starts for the Rowdies this season. Pulled down by Camargo, not able to clear right away. And going down in the middle there was Ristov, but Toronto was able to clear, and that's Oyvind Alseth who gets a tug on the shoulder and wins a free kick for Toronto. Fraser gets things started. Mitch Tainer, we see that left hand wrapped up. He left last week's game on Saturday earlier than we might have anticipated, perhaps because of an injury.
Yeah, it was a little bit of fatigue and cramp. The pitch was quite heavy the last game they played on BMO. Mitch Tainer actually gave a penalty away, the captain. He'll be looking to put things amends right tonight.
That was the only goal conceded. The only goal of that game, a 1-0 victory for Bethlehem Steel FC at BMO Field on Saturday. Toronto has conceded just 2 goals in their last 5 games. They were in the last 2 games, back-to-back 1-0 losses against Pittsburgh and Bethlehem on the heels of 3 consecutive 0-0 draws. Toronto has not scored at all in its last 5 games. A 510-minute goal drought going back to April 4th at Orlando City B. On the flip side, the Rowdies are riding a 3-game clean sheet streak. 271 minutes back to the final minute of play on April 22nd in their 3-2 loss to Charleston. So 2 teams on the opposite end of the spectrum here tonight, Terry.
Yeah, it'll be a tough one for TFC too, but sometimes the challenge, you really raise your game and you're pitting yourself against some of the best players in the league. Hopefully TFC's youth and exuberance will come through. 2 different types of club. Tampa Bay have a ton of experience, where TFC too, we're trying to find the right balance of winning games, but also developing players for the first team.
Nice one touch there, coming from Joe Cole, looking to pick out Darnell King, making a run through that right flank, but defended well by Ashton Morgan.
I've seen the Rowdies play a fair bit this season, Matt. They pass the ball, they move, they're very bright. They try to isolate players 1v1, just like that with Jones down the right-hand side here. And then defensively, they'll try to press high, and if they don't win it, they'll drop back into their blocks. It's important that TFC's passing is crisp and they secure the ball in their own half.
Ristov sends that into the area. Jelani Peters, fresh off a USL contract with TFC2. He's able to clear it. He was on loan from W Connection FC, but now the move made official. He is a full member of Toronto FC2.
Yeah, he was excellent in the home game here against Rochester, a 0-0 draw. I think that they wanted to seal his deal up before his name became too prominent amongst the league. Good business from TFC, too.
There's a good through ball. Luca Uccello is onside, battling there against Damian Lowe. And Lowe is able to win it back. Nearly a break there for Luca Uccello as he snuck in behind the back line. Toronto pressuring for the first time this evening.
Excellent forward run from Uccello. Gets onto a straight ball with a bit of a diagonal run. It was too bad he couldn't get his head up. He had Hundell in space.
There's Frazier looking for Spencer. Spencer's in behind the line. Off the line is Pickens, and he's able to deflect it away. Toronto maintains control. Comes down for a Hundell. He got a head to it, maybe a chest, but not able to corral it how he liked. And Tampa Bay quickly on the counterattack. That's broken up by Brandon Aubrey. Headed away by Tainer. First good scoring chance of the night comes for Toronto. Just under 10 minutes in here at the Ontario Soccer Centre. Morgan sends that up the left wing for Hundell, but Damian Lowe will get there first for the Rowdies. Back to Matt Pickens. Sends that high into the air. Peters trying to win that away. Comes for Camargo. Frazier feels the pressure from Cole and will release to Brandon Aubrey. Camargo picks out Uccello. Uccello's onside. Uccello in alone. Scores! Luca Uccello, and Toronto's got the lead.
great goal for TFC too. This is the third time they've got in behind a very square Tampa Bay back four. The ball comes here into Camargo. Ben Spencer dropped to feet, which brought the back four out with them. Great run in behind from Uccello. His first touch is spot on. Comes up against Pickens, picks his spots, beats him low to the keeper's right-hand side. Times his run to perfection. Definitely onside. Pace, power to the bottom corner, strokes it home.
Luca Uccello with his first goal of the season, had 3 last year. That's just the 3rd goal this season for Toronto. And it snaps that lengthy goal drought at about 520 minutes. And of course, snapping the shutout streak for Tampa Bay. So one of those main storylines that we were following heading into tonight's match, those have been shattered.
That's football for you, Matt. Great ball from Camargo, though. It would have been easy to play into Ben Spencer's feet. Takes on the more difficult ball in behind and puts it on a 10 pence for Luca Uccello.
Now how will Tampa Bay respond? There's an opportunity straight away and punched away. That was Deshaun Brown in there looking for an equalizer. Here's Darwin Jones, sends it out on the right flank for Darnell King. King will try to cross it back in, takes a deflection off of Morgan. Cavalluzzo is sharp and out to snare it.
Great ball from Ristov on the right-hand side. He's a right footer playing off the left. He just comes inside, plays a great shape ball in behind Peters. Peters just gets caught flat-footed a little bit. Brown gets him behind. He'll want that one back. Good goalkeeping from Cavalluzzo to come off his line and just put him off.
Luke Bowden back deep in Rowdies territory. Native of Sheffield, England. A number of players, international players on the Rowdies side. Deshaun Brown coming from Jamaica. They have Cole and Bowden from England. Neil Collins from Scotland. Schaefer from Germany. Ristov from Bulgaria. And then trio of Americans, Chavez, Jones, and King.
Yeah, I like Bowden. Started off his career at Sheffield Wednesday, made the move to Orlando, played for the USL side there, made the jump to the MLS, made 33 appearances, and then this offseason joined Tampa. A left back that can get forward. He struggled for time a little bit. The German international, or former German international Schaefer, he's been playing left back a little bit. Just talking about Schaefer a little bit, 256 appearances for Wolfsburg, won the Bundesliga in 2008, 2009, 8 caps for Germany. Talented player in midfield.
Free kick one here by Morgan. Now, Terry, how does this change for Jason Bent? This will be just the 2nd time this season Toronto will be working with a lead. And as much as you want things to go your way, I'm not totally sure Jason Bent was game planning for having an early lead against Tampa Bay.
I think the biggest thing is this will give this young TFC2 group some confidence and some belief in what they've been working on all week in training. That, you know what, we do have a chance. We can play with these big boys. And I think they've really embraced the challenge so far. It's important that they don't get caught flat-footed. It looks like the Tampa Bay Rowdies are definitely a threat in behind. Not only can they play some intricate stuff into Joe Cole, but Deshaun Brown, he's looking to get in behind.
Here's King. Cole. A little bit too far for Jones. Looked like it might have been a miscommunication there between Cole and Jones. Cavalluzzo well out to take it, and now it's up for Frazier. Tainter. Aubrey.
I've been an older player, similar to Schaefer in midfield. It's not easy. The last thing you want to do is chase Uccello making those driving runs forward. Keep doing it, Uccello. Keep being brave. Keep taking him the other way.
There's Neil Collins. Darnell King. Jones. Working against Morgan. Finds Joe Cole. Cole again. It's taken down there by Uccello. It will be the second time this season, but the first time that we'll get a chance to talk about it, Terry. For some of these younger players in Toronto, you know, like a Luca Uccello or a Sean Hundle, Joe Cole's a guy that they would have grown up watching in the Premier League and playing for England. What does that experience, or what is that experience like for them?
I don't think they'll be overawed by it one little bit.
Get back to that in a second as Allseth crosses it, looking to pick out Spencer.
Yeah,
but failed to connect.
Good ball from Allseth. When he checks back to his left foot, Ben Spencer and Hundell, they just need to reset their runs. Yeah, just going back to the Joe Cole point and playing someone of his stature, I don't think any of these TFC2 players will be phased because they're used to it, because they train with the TFC players. They're training not week in, week out, but they're occasionally training with the first team. They're training with Michael Bradley, Altidore, Javinko, some big-time players. So I think that transition of playing against players like that today is eased and a little bit more comfortable, and they'll be used to it because they do play and train with the TFC team.
Ben, you're right.
Morgan tries to head that away, but it'll still fall down to Darwin Jones. Jones crossing in. Jelani Peters is there, takes it in the midsection, and will clear it up for Spencer. Not very far, though. Spencer's going to have to regroup to Morgan. Pushes up for Hundle. Hundle will chip it, and Camargo unable to run onto it. And, yeah, that's out for a throw, Damian Lowe. And we're taken here by King.
We touched on it. I know Spencer likes to drop deep. It's important he tries to stay up the pitch a little bit, and so Hundle isn't isolated on his own. They need to work as a two.
King for Jones. Chavez. Schaefer. Sent out wide for Bowden. Disrupted by Tainer. Uccello thought about headmanning it for Hundle, thought better, and then was dispossessed. And now Chavez will send it to the near side for King. King pressing forward for Jones. Jones swings it in looking for Cole. Peters gets a foot out, headed away by Tainer, and it's out for a Tampa Bay corner.
Difficult ball to deal with. It was a little bit of a knuckleballer in there. Tainter does just enough. Could have been a foul on him.
And it will be Darwin Jones taking the corner again here for the Rowdies. Cleared by Spencer.
Great ball pinged in by Jones. Someone has to pick Chavez up. He was wide open at the top of the box there.
Peters goes up. Some contact there with Lowe. And it's going to be a foul won by Toronto. Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC. That's channel 85. And don't forget, Sirius XM FC will also air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. Toronto with an early lead here at the Ontario Soccer Centre. We are in the 19th minute. Luca Uccello got Toronto on the board in the 11th. Sneaking in behind the back line of the Rowdies and depositing it low in the left-hand corner. Past goalkeeper Matt Pickens. Pickens making his 6th consecutive start. It's his 7th appearance of the season. He has 3 clean sheets and 2 victories. He came in for the injured Akira Fitzgerald a few weeks back.
Yeah, he's definitely their #1 keeper. Made 31 appearances last season. Has the record for goalkeeper appearances for the Colorado Rapids, 116. He's won an MLS Cup in Toronto in 2010. Big, strong goalkeeper.
Fitzgerald was injured on April 15th. Had not allowed a goal in his first 4 starts, 3 clean sheets. Has been a reserve, and this is the 4th consecutive game he'll be the reserve keeper in USL play, but he did play 90 minutes on Tuesday night in the Open Cup, so he is fit. It'll just be a matter of when manager Stuart Campbell wants to start him again in a USL game.
Pretty impressive. They made so many changes for that Open Cup game. It just shows the depth of this squad.
It's a miscue by Jelani Peters and an opportunity, and it's struck wide. Deshaun Brown was in alone. All he had to do was beat Cavalluzzo, and he could not.
Big center half Peters just gets done by the turf, tries to take a touch, just put it into Rosette there. Pace of Brown is excellent. He tries to side foot it to the far corner, just pulls the neck off of the ball a little bit. Probably would have been better going to the near post. Good angles though from Cavalluzzo, makes it difficult for him. Wonderful CV Deshaun Brown has. Played for the Colorado Rapids, then went over to Vålerenga in Norway. From Norway, 1.2 million, moved to Shenzhen Ruby in China. Currently on loan with the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Native of Manchester, Jamaica.
14 caps, 2 goals. He's the full deal. He's got everything, Matt. He's got pace, he's strong, soft feet, can get on to the end of things.
Delay in the action here as the Rowdies player Justin Chavez is down with an injury, but it looks like he's going to be able to shake it off and will re-enter the game momentarily.
Great test for the young midfield of TFC2, Frazier, Uccello, and Camargo. Lots of experience in that Tampa Bay midfield. Schaefer, Cole, and Chavez.
Actually, I'm not sure. It looked like Chavez was nodding his head that he was going to be okay, but it does look like he is moving down to the end of the bench, and there's a Tampa Bay substitute that's pulling his jersey on, taking the warm-up jersey off. Looks like it might be Michael Nanchoff who will enter. We'll get to that in a moment, though. His play is back underway. Tampa Bay pressing once again for that equalizer. Aubrey tries to head that away right to the feet of Joe Cole. Deflects back into the Toronto penalty area, but it is cleared by Tainer. Spencer not able to get it out very far. And Uccello back for Spencer again into the middle of the field for Camargo. And Toronto will push forward. Camargo dispossessed there. Challenge from Damian Lowe. Got the ball, but then the second leg came through and took Camargo out, and it's going to be a foul on the Kingston, Jamaica native.
Hard tackle there for Camargo. Just dwells on it a little bit. Tries to get his head up to find someone. Just takes one too many touches. Probably not a foul for me. I think Lowe gets enough of the ball. Great diagonal out to Allseth.
Tainer pulls that in. Struggles to control it, but does. Now Liam Frazier. Back again from Hundle. Pushed up onto the left wing for Morgan. Morgan trying to bust through 2 Rowdies defenders, not able to do so. And that clearing attempt from Jones went off the heel of Camargo. And now King sends that out. And we will get the substitution. It will be Michael Nanchoff entering for Justin Chavez.
Attacking midfielder later on in his career now. I'm not saying he's that old, mid-20s. He's moving back in midfield just a little bit. I played with him when he played for the Vancouver Whitecaps, played for the Portland Timbers as well. Left footer, skillful player, got great delivery on set pieces. It's great to see him playing somewhat regularly at Tampa Bay.
This will be the 9th appearance of the season for Nanchoff. He's made 6 starts.
Yeah, it's difficult to get regular time in that sort of attacking midfield role in the MLS. There's so many talented players. And it was difficult for him to get time in Vancouver and also Portland, but he just needs games to develop. A very talented player, and you know, we're starting to see him come to the forefront in this league.
Schaefer crosses in and headed away by Jelani Peters. Taken down by Hundle. For Camargo. Has Spencer. Decides to go back to the right side for Hundle. Hundle looking to cross in, perhaps. Now does. Comes for Spencer, and he sends it wide.
That move comes from great hold-up play, great strength from Sean Hundle. Holds the experienced Sheffield United, ex-Sheffield United Tampa Bay midfielder off. Defender, sorry, comes to the byline. I thought the opportunity had just gone. Ball luckily comes to Spencer at the back post, just lashes at it a little bit. There's enough pace on that cross where he could just side foot it home.
And a look of frustration for Ben Spencer.
Yeah, he's just missing a goal this game right now. Would do his confidence all of good. Just going back to the hold-up play from Sean Hundle, that's so good from him. Just 17 years of age, holding off Collins at the halfway line. It allows the team to get up the park, and then great through ball again from Camargo.
Spencer's been a focal point of the Toronto offense this year after just 2 appearances last season. Nenchoff left-footed, sends it in, headed down, and cleared.
Yeah, Arbery just loses Collins at the back post. Needs to move his feet. Body shape was all wrong. Gets away with one there.
Leave him, Ash. Leave him. Back in. Shot. Higher surge. Higher surge.
Aggressive challenge there from Tainer will result in a Tampa Bay free kick.
Yeah, sometimes you can't win it. Forward's got the right, sorry, the forward's in between the ball and yourself. Sometimes he's going the wrong way. You don't need to foul him there. Just stand on your feet.
Just under half an hour played here. It's the 28th minute. That's sent away by Aubrey. Spencer on the near side for Hundle. Trying to play in for Spencer. His through ball just a little bit long, and it's collected by Collins. There's Bowden. Nenchoff.
Hold there, Sean.
Bowden. Cole. Alseth there to intercept. Around Uccello, and Tampa Bay has it back. Nenchoff.
Check the middle.
Low.
Push it wide. Check the middle.
Long on to the right side for Jones. Jelani Peters is there to intercept. He's got it down into the corner of Toronto territory, and with some smart footwork, he's able to send it up for Spencer. And Hundle on the left side, working against Damian Lowe. Hundle working into the middle. Hundle still with it. Hundle with a strike. It's blocked. Comes down for Uccello. Plays over for Spencer. Spencer will loft that over the goal.
You can tell Spencer wants his goal. Should probably have gone out wide there to Alseth. Great play, though, from TFC2. All starts from Peters in the corner. Great little Cruyff with his right foot. Pings it up the pitch to Spencer. Outside of his foot goes to Hundle. Hundle attacks the defenders. Shots blocked, but great move from TFC2. Looked very good in transition there. For a big man, Peters, he moves very well. He just eats the yards up, and then when he's in possession, he's very composed, Matt. Very rarely do you see him panic on the ball. Astute signing.
There's Liam Frazier up for Hundle.
A little bit too straight. Should have come out here to the left-hand side to Ashley Morgan.
Damien Lowe plays that back for his keeper, Pickens. Lowe lofts it up forward. He's trying to pick out Ristov there. Lowe. Collins. Bowden. Schaefer. Bowden. Collins.
Ristov and Joe Cole have just switched. Joe Cole's gone out to the left-hand side. Ristov's just playing off Dayshore and Brown.
It's Jones. Has a go at the goal, but over. That'll be a goal kick for Cavalluzzo. Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit nikesoccer.com.
Not the worst effort there from Jones. Found a little bit of space. Was never going to bother Cavalluzzo. He made 11 appearances for the Seattle Sounders.
Collins. King. Nanchoff. Collins will send it back to the keeper, Pickens.
Hundle needs to work a little bit harder there. Great opportunity to press high in this 3-5-2 system. If one player's not at it, all of a sudden they're out.
Indecisiveness there from Cavalluzzo. There's an opportunity, and it's sent over the goal once again by Deshore and Brown.
Good play from Tampa. They move it across the back out to the left-hand side. Alseth, he went to press. Alseth, Hundle, he didn't go. They get out. Good ball in behind from Nanchoff to Brown. Possibly a handball. Just skips up off the turf on his half volley, goes over the net. So important, Matt, when you decide to press it. Everyone's going. If someone's asleep, all of a sudden Tampa Bay, with their quality, will find a way to get out.
Cavalluzzo for a half second looked like he wanted to come out and grab that one, then decided that he would be better served to stay back.
Good spot. It's difficult on this turf. It's extremely slow when it's dry and really holds up. It's quite sticky.
As the sun begins to set a little bit here and hide behind the clouds, temperature cooling off a little bit. We're at 14 degrees Celsius, 57 Fahrenheit at kickoff. Probably a touch cooler than that now at this point. But the early 5 o'clock kickoff will certainly help the comfort level of the players, at least from a temperature perspective this evening. Free kick one here by Tampa Bay. So for any Toronto fans who, looking at the standings, seeing the Tampa Bay Rowdies 5-2-2 second in the East and saying, hey, these guys weren't in the league last year, how does this happen? They're not a true expansion team. They were just sort of transferred into the USL this year. They've played since 2008 in the NASL, and a long, rich history of Tampa Bay Rowdies soccer in that area. As they, the first incarnation of the Tampa Bay Rowdies began in 1975 and ran all the way through to 1993 in various leagues. The NASL as an independent team, the American Indoor Soccer Association, the American Soccer League, and now into the USL. There's Spencer. Out on the right side for Alseth. Crossed in. Not sure if he was trying to pick out Spencer or Hundle, but it falls right into the open hands of Matt Pickens.
Just trying to be a little bit too precise. Great to see 4 or 5 TFC bodies in the box. Just chose the wrong club for me. Tried to drive it into the box, got caught in the wind, went into Pickens' hands. Would have been better maybe trying to whip that ball in. As you were saying, Matt, this club's steeped in history. There's murmurings as well, possibly could be looking to potentially one day move to the MLS as well.
They're going to add to the Florida roster of MLS clubs. Of course, Orlando coming in a couple of years ago. Miami will be entering next season, I believe.
Not quite there. They're having some stadium issues. Just recently I read they submitted their stadium plans and forgot to do anything about parking. So they said they were going to shuttle fans to the game. Might want to rethink that one, but Tim Lewicki, he's behind that. If anyone can pull it off, I'm sure it's him.
Always love to hear those sort of horror stories of stadium planning. For any baseball fans out there, there's a famous story about the new ballpark in San Francisco, AT&T Field, where the Giants play. They didn't include bullpens in the blueprint for the stadium. So a lot of the older stadiums have the bullpens down the foul line. Like you see that in Chicago, some other stadiums.
In the outfield.
They have them in foul territory, but it's so narrow down there, it's actually quite dangerous. As this is played into the area for Hundle. Hundle picks it up again. He's taken down. Referee shakes her head, says play on.
Tough to see from this angle up here how much contact there was with Bowden. He holds it up really well. He's an honest player, Hundo. Normally if there is contact, if there isn't contact, he'll try to stay up.
If I remember from last season, there were a number of times where you told him you were sort of from up here lecturing, maybe he should take a fall in the area. Yeah, so he's listening to your commentary from last year.
Sometimes you need to be a little bit savvy. Just gets ahead of Bowden. Bowden's the wrong side of him. Not enough contact for me. He actually looks like he gets his studs caught in the turf.
Would have felt contact looking like it came sort of in the shoulder or the neck area.
Yeah.
So that opportunity interrupted our brilliant San Francisco
I knew you were going to go back
history lesson. No, I'm not going to finish it. The moment's gone. Just one of those famous moments of poor stadium planning.
Uccello just a little bit high there. Peters needed someone to feed.
There's Camargo. Camargo not able to get it free from Damian Lowe. Lowe will knife his way through the middle and now send it up to this near right side for Jones.
I've been impressed, Matt, with Damian Lowe, the center back for Tampa Bay. I think his distribution's been excellent. He's got 4 caps for Jamaica. He actually scored against Honduras. He signed a Generation Adidas contract with MLS, selected 8th overall from the Seattle Sounders. Never made an appearance, loaned out to Seattle 2, Minnesota. He signed with Tampa Bay this season. Looks quite quick as well. His recovery pace is good. I think an area TFC2 could look to expose is that space just in behind Collins. Like this.
There's Hundle. Hundle pushing forward. Hundle has a go, and it's blocked by Damian Lowe.
Great direct play from Hundle. Really attacks Collins there. Gets past him, gets that half yard to get his shot off, but Damian Lowe comes over and covers his mate.
King works off Camargo. That takes a deflection off Jelani Peters. It comes back to Darnell King.
King gets his head up there. Joe Cole had made a good run in behind. Took some TFC bodies with him. Possibly King could have slid him through.
Cole. For Jones. Working against Morgan. Peters there in support. That's a deflection off of Jelani Peters. Thrown in quickly, comes to King. Nanchoff.
Yeah. Keep working.
King.
Keep working. And again.
Low.
And again. Let's go.
We're into the 40th minute here. The only goal of the match so far. Luca Uccello all the way back in the 11th.
that short space of time there, you've seen how that goal for TFC2 has really galvanized the boys, really working hard for one another, covering each other. Peters covering Morgan just a second ago. Hundo working hard up top, ratting around.
They've had a couple of good opportunities as well. We saw Spencer with an opportunity. Hundo's been involved. Hundo making Jason Bent look pretty smart, putting him back in the starting 11. It's his fourth start of the season in this, the 9th game for TFC2. Came off the bench on Saturday against Bethlehem and appeared to give a spark to the lineup. Sergio Camargo, another, one of those players. This is just his 3rd start of the season. We saw him here a month ago when they took on Rochester, and he was a substitution that provided a lot of energy off the bench as well. So some of those players that were Energizer bunnies off the bench doing that job in the starting 11 tonight.
Yeah, Camargo was probably a little bit unlucky against Bethlehem at BMO. He was going to come on. Unfortunately, Mitch Tainer got injured, and JB had to use his last sub on him.
There's Cole. Played in for Ristov. Ristov still with it. Ristov taken down. The referee says no penalty once again. I'm not quite sure what the referee saw there. Looked like a penalty from up here. We'll get a second look at it when we have an opportunity, but Stuart Campbell echoing my thoughts on the Tampa Bay sideline. Palms raised upwards, speaking to the 4th official, saying, what's going on there? There's DeShorn Brown working against Aubrey. Brown, good challenge there from Aubrey to dispossess DeShorn Brown, and it comes to Camargo. Sends it out to the right flank for Oyvind Alseth. Alseth playing the right side of midfield today. He started at left back on Saturday. Versatile player.
Yeah, just going back to the penalty incident there, Matt, is Tampa Bay's best play of the half. Joe Cole shapes like he's going to shoot, slides Ristov in. Ristov on his left foot. You think he's going to take a swing for it. Aubrey bites big time. He creates that bit of space to get the shot off. You think he should probably shoot there, takes an extra touch, and then he's just bundled over. For me, I don't think it was a penalty. Just dwelled on it a little bit too long. He done Aubrey a treat, had that little bit of space to get his shot off, and just hesitated.
There's King. As Tampa Bay ratchets up the offensive pressure here towards the end of the first half. Comes down for Cole, and that's off his hand. It's going to be a handball. Let's get a look at that non-call on Georgi Ristov.
Yeah, Joe Cole, you'll see Joe Cole get it back here again. Shapes like he's going to shoot, plays a great little slide ball. Fantastic disguise, goes past Aubrey, and then Alseth. Just a tiny bit of contact from him and he goes over, but just before that, that was the time he needs to let the shot go. It was almost like he was looking for the contact to go over, and the contact never really came. Maybe a little bit, Matt, but not enough for a penalty. I think the referee gets that spot on. What a pass from Joe Cole.
So that's one on each side that the players left thinking they should have gotten a penalty, but ultimately, I think you're right, Terry. I think she has got it right both times. Fans, the USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. So stay up to date with all the latest league news and information. Visit USLsoccer.com and also follow them on Twitter at USL. We're down into the final minute of the first half, plus whatever is added by our 4th official. Cole working against Frazier, and he wins a corner for the Rowdies.
That might be a yellow card on Aubrey. Tough tackle at the edge of the box on Brown. I don't think it was a best ball into Brown from Nanchoff. Puts a bit of a hospital ball into him. Good one-on-one defending after from Liam Frazier. Closes Joe Cole down, doesn't let him beat him to the byline.
It was indeed a yellow card for Brandon Aubrey. Just the 9th of the season for Toronto. Some traffic there in the area. Bowden rather, comes down with it and Sends it back out to Nanchoff. 1 minute of added time. That's what we are playing in right now. We are into the stoppage time of the first half. Tampa Bay looking for an equalizer before we get to the break.
Nanchoff had to hit the back post there. They had a 4v2, 4v3. Just under hits it to the near post.
Camargo. Frazier. Dispossessed. And here's Nanchoff. There's Spencer. Spencer, bit of a clumsy touch there, but he's able to get it back, working against Neil Collins. Plays it in for Uccello. Uccello over to Camargo. Camargo not able to get around Damian Lowe. Comes back for Frazier. There now is Spencer. Spencer again for Frazier. Uccello dispossessed there by Bowden, and that will signal the end of the opening half. Furious pace to finish the opening 45, but it was a goal from that man, Luca Uccello, all the way back in the 11th minute, has Toronto on the board. They are up 1-0 at the break, Terry.
Real high tempo to that first half. There's a few tired legs coming off. That turf really zaps it out of you. Excellent first half. TFC2 can be very happy with that performance. The hardest thing in football is for a team is, can you go out, can you do that again in the second half? That's what Jason Bent will be saying.
So for just the second time this season, Toronto has the opening goal, and they'll take a 1-0 lead into the half. Luca Uccello with the goal. Missed opportunities on both sides, non-penalties on both sides. An entertaining first 45. You're watching Toronto FC and Tampa Bay.
Get the latest TFC and TFC2 news on the go. Download the TFC mobile app to get instant highlights, player information, live match scores, and more. Download it now from your phone's app store. For groups of 10 or more, visit tfc2.ca or call 416-815-5513.
Back at the Ontario Soccer Centre, a wildly entertaining opening 45 minutes sees Toronto draw first blood. A goal from Luca Uccello in the 11th minute has the hosts on top 1-0. Matt Nicolantonio and Terry Dunfield back with you at the Ontario Soccer Centre. A rare opportunity for the Young Reds to take a lead into halftime against one of the better sides in the Eastern Conference, Terry, and there are quite a few plays to highlight from that opening half.
For sure, I thought it was a deserved lead. One of the best halves of football I've seen so far in the last 3 years here at the Ontario Soccer Centre. TFC2 have really lifted their game up. Here we see Spencer's chance, gets in behind it, flat Tampa Bay back four, possibly could have squared it there. Gets it back into the box, and in the end, the attack fizzles out. That's how TFC2 were hurting Tampa Bay. That ball in behind, and that's how the goal comes. Great ball from Camargo. First touch is excellent from Uccello, and he just strokes it to the bottom corner. Great composure from him. He just passes it into that bottom corner. It would have been easy to really try to put your foot through it. Pickens caught in no man's land, just a little bit for me there. Here we see a great chance from Tampa Bay, caused by possibly the turf. Peters tries to bring it down. Great change of pace from Brown. Really should do better. Cavalluzzo does well to come off his line, cut that angle down. Camargo, he's been excellent all half. Great through ball here to Sean Hundell. Just takes us possibly a second too long. A little bit fortunate. Comes to Spencer, and Spencer just lashes at it. No need to, just side foot it. There's enough pace in that cross. Just direct it back towards goal. And here we see Tampa Bay pacing behind again. Deshaun Brown, the Jamaican international, 12 caps, 2 goals for Jamaica. You can see he's a real threat, not only to feet, but especially in behind. His pace is so good. And it's important that TFC manage that pace by not being caught too high and just cut out a couple of mistakes as well. Aubrey's been caught on it maybe once or twice, and Peters, as we saw in that highlight pack, the ball just gets away from him, Matt.
So a strong opening half for Toronto. Really needed a big opening 45 here, as they'd had a number of consecutive games without a goal. We'll see if they can defend the lead. Toronto FC 2 and Tampa Bay 1-0 Toronto at the half.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
Here's your check.
Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
The CONCACAF Gold Cup kicks off in July with Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, hosting the U.S. men's national team versus Martinique on July 12th.
I've been in many stadiums in the United States throughout my career, and there's not a finer venue than Raymond James. So I think I can say on behalf of CONCACAF and U.S. Soccer, we're thrilled to be coming here in July, and it's going to be an exciting time.
Coach Arena and the Cup finished the day with a visit to the USL corporate offices in Tampa.
The growth of the sport in our country has grown tremendously. Everywhere in the United States, you can find a soccer club, and that's obviously is attributed to the growth of USL as well as Major League Soccer. So the sport in our country has grown tremendously, and we should be real proud of where we are in 2017.
For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
Ladies and gentlemen, in order that all fans at the Ontario Soccer Centre can enjoy the game, please observe the following courtesies. Please refrain from using offensive language and cheer in a respectful manner. Any patrons entering the playing field will be subject to immediate prosecution. Please be aware that balls may be hit into the stands at a high rate of speed. If a ball goes into the stands, please return it to the nearest ball kid or stadium staff member. Please deposit all garbage and recycling into the bin nearest you. If you participate in unruly behavior or throw objects onto the playing field, you will be immediately escorted from the stadium. Fans, please use proper concourses and walkways around the stadium and refrain from climbing over seats and barriers in the stadium. The Ontario Soccer Centre is a smoke-free facility. For all future events, please keep in mind that outside food and beverages, umbrellas, and large bags are not permitted at the Ontario Soccer Centre. Your consideration and cooperation is appreciated. Thank you, and enjoy the match.
Yes, I'm feeling.
Welcome back to the Ontario Soccer Centre at the half. Toronto FC 2 leading the Tampa Bay Rowdies 1-0. We thank you for joining us on your Friday evening to kick off the Victoria Day long weekend here in Canada. It was a pretty entertaining opening half of football. Let's take a look at the stats from that first 45. What sticks out to you from these numbers here, Terry?
It was a pretty even first half for me. I think possession-wise, it was fairly equal. I think TFC2 represented themselves extremely well. They've really risen to the challenge, and it's a tough one. So many internationals in this team, so much experience, and these internationals are still good ages. And I think TFC2 have really reveled in the challenge, and you know, defensively, they haven't been broken down too much. A couple of mistakes that they've actually caused their own problems. Good little play at the end of the half from Tampa Bay. That little slip ball from Joel Cole through to Ristoff, and not a penalty for me. But going forward, TFC have been excellent. They've been patient. They put a couple of passes together, and they've really hurt Tampa playing that ball in behind, especially in particular Collins. He looks like he's lost that sort of change of pace, and Hundle getting in behind, deep run from Camargo a couple times has caused some problems. And also Allseth's had a little bit of joy out on that right-hand side. He's got some crosses into the box, and I think the two up top of Hundle and Spencer have linked well with each other. They've held the ball up, which is important, so it's not just an onslaught of Tampa Bay attacks coming at you, attack after attack, Matt.
Yeah, and you mentioned those front two, Spencer and Hundle. And Sean Hundle, as we mentioned, his fourth start here tonight, and he was particularly strong, creating some opportunities for Toronto.
We saw a bit of him last week against against Bethlehem coming in off the bench, and I thought he was very good. His play's been direct so far, and you know exactly what you're going to get from him. He works very hard on both sides of the ball. He's the type of player you like to play with. It's hard to believe he's just 17 years of age. He played a lot of football in the USL last year, and it looks like he developed in the offseason very well. There's so many facets to his game. He can run in behind. He's getting stronger. He's not getting bullied by center halves. We saw him bring a ball out of the sky and hold Collins off and bring others into play. Last week against Bethlehem, he had a great move where he came, cut inside on his left foot, and the keeper made a great save.
Yeah, last season, you mentioned all the minutes that he played. He actually had, if my quick glance at the stat sheet here is correct, the most minutes played on TFC2 last season, played in 27 of their 34 contests in USL play last season. And he, for most of the season, was a 16-year-old. He's got a late birthday. He'll have his birthday again in the middle towards the end of this season. And he's a player who's still growing, both physically, he still has room to grow into his body, and in the development of his game.
Yeah, I know Jason Bent and Chris Bosniak, the assistant coach, wanted to protect him a little bit last year, but with Jordan Hamilton, Mo Babuli moving up to the first team, they were a little bit short up top, and I thought he took his opportunity very well last year, and he's continuing nice this season. Academy product. You love to see the players you've developed come through.
And we spoke about him a bit before the game, but the captain for Tampa Bay, Joe Cole, and he certainly showed what all that experience in the game has done for him, as he was very strong in that opening half for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I thought he was good for the first 30 minutes. He caused Liam Fraser some problems, just drifting. He didn't sort of play right underneath Brown. He sort of moved either side to him in those pockets. He's not afraid to run in behind. He's very comfortable in possession. He's very good at drawing that contact from players, and then he'll make that run in. He'll draw the contact, and then as soon as he feels it, he goes over. He's great at earning free kicks. I thought Liam Fraser, as the half went on, did a really good job on him.
We're going to see a substitution here for Toronto right off the hop here. Brandon Onconi will be coming in for Jelani Peters, and it was past my way just before we got back on. It is an injury situation for Jelani Peters, so that's why we're seeing Onconi brought in right at the start of the second half here. So a bit of a tough break for Jelani Peters. I thought he was really strong again in that first half. We saw him a few weeks ago here against Rochester. Looked good that night as well, and
the Trinidadian looked great. Yeah, I thought him and Ashton Morgan did a very good job. We didn't see a whole bunch of offense down their side, but they really shut down Jones and King, who link up well down the right-hand side for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Onconi comes in. Similar type of player, left-sided, center half. You know, hopefully he's ready and up to game speed, because that first half was an extremely high tempo.
So one substitution per side has been made. Of course, 3 per game here in the USL this season, down from 5 that we had the previous years. Was gonna sort of piggyback on your comments about Joe Cole. We may see him subbed off, as he has been removed in 5 out of the 7 games that he started this season.
Yeah, he's one of the players that are just getting on a little bit, 35 years of age. Not easy, the travel, the turf's a little bit tricky up here. I thought he tired just a little bit as the half wore on, but they definitely have some replacements on the bench, in particular Martin Patterson, English player, played for Burnley, made over 100 appearances for them, scoring 37 goals. Good player. Whether maybe he might go up top and play in a 2 with Brown.
We shall see what the substitution situation will look like as we move forward in the second half, but we are underway here. And as we mentioned, the temperature cooling just a little bit, but still quite comfortable. And we know for the players that are moving around down there, and they got the blood pumping and all that, I'm sure they don't feel a thing, but not much wind to speak of either, which is not always the case here at the Ontario Soccer Centre. Very frequently you can see it whipping around violently, but a little bit of a breeze, but not really anything of significance this evening. Got some cloud covers, so the sun is blocked. Normally it's in the vantage point of our cameras at this point. Here's Cole. Good interplay there with Ristov. And needing some sharp defending there from Liam Frazier.
Nice to see Liam's game developing. Reads the game extremely well there. Good link-up play between Cole and Ristov. They got in behind the fullback, but Liam Frazier was able to come over and put that fire out.
There's Cole. So Terry, from a Tampa Bay perspective, you know, they're one of the better teams in the league. They fall behind early. They sort of keep themselves in it. We're maybe the better of... it was a pretty even game, I would say, after that goal. I'm not going to give one side the advantage over the other, but they definitely had their opportunities. What adjustments, if any, did they make in this second half as they push for an equalizer and perhaps more?
I think it would be same again for them. I'm surprised that they got caught out the way they did. They got let off the hook. Uccello made a run in behind. Spencer made a run in behind. Pickens made a save. And it's actually the third time that TFC2 got in behind that the goal comes from. So they didn't learn from their mistake. Lowe, I thought he had a very good first half. Definitely a foul on Uccello. Great to see the two midfielders, Uccello and Camargo, making those forward runs, getting beyond the defense of the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Causes defenders so many problems.
Lowe was shaking the finger there, saying, no, that was not a foul. But
he almost put him in the stand. I don't know what he was arguing there.
Well, you know, you played the game, Terry. You know, you're never actually guilty of a foul.
Never. It's normally the ref's fault.
It's funny how it works that way.
A couple good calls from the referee on the penalty appeals. I think she's got them both spot on. One for each side.
Collins goes up. Spencer was up as well, but Collins got up higher and was able to head that away. And now we see some action behind the play. Collins and Spencer are nose to nose. Tainer is in there as well. The play has gone back down in the Toronto end, but back down in the Tampa Bay penalty area. There was 3 or 4 players. Collins and Spencer were nose to nose. Mitch Tainer was in there as well. Matt Pickens had to come charging out to look like he was playing the role of peacekeeper. And I think the referee is going to confer with her assistants to see if there is any action that needs to be taken here. But it was either Collins or Schaefer, but I believe it was Collins, and Ben Spencer were right in each other's faces. And they were not exchanging recipes, I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, I don't think any of the fourth official or the linesman picked up on anything there. Collins was picking up Spencer on the set piece. Collins won the header. Some handbags after, nothing in particular. Mitch Tainter will do well to just stay out of that. He served a 5-game suspension for getting involved in something at the end of last season, which actually carried on to this year.
Yep, that's right. And it looks like he's got his left hand wrapped. It might have some sort of hand injury, so you're not gonna be wanting to mess around with that. We didn't get much of it as it had gone, you know, back the other way. But Collins was pointing at Tainer, I think, but he had been engaged with Spencer as well.
He's lucky to point up here, hey Matt.
You're gonna jump over and have a go with him? I know better than to mess with an angry Scotsman.
Try dealing with Stephen Caldwell every day.
Don't envy that.
Been impressed with Ristov today. I think he's looked very good. His movement's excellent. He's comfortable in possession. He's quite clever. He's very good at getting across defenders. Just got across Sean Hundle, draws a foul. Great angle here for Nanchov's left foot.
Nanchoff will swing it. I don't think he hit that exactly how he wanted to, but it comes down for a teammate. Crossed it, headed away. That was
Hundle.
Ulseth, I believe, who got the head to it. So be out for a Tampa Bay throw, excuse me. Taken quickly. Yeah, on that free kick, though, it looked like Nanchoff got it a little bit more on the inside of his foot than he would have wanted to. I don't think that's the trajectory of the ball that he was hoping for. almost worked out for them anyway.
It was a little bit high, maybe wanted a touch flatter. Good movement from Bowden around the back post.
Here's Deshaun Brown now as he gets in behind the Toronto defenders. Cuts in, still with it, left-footed strike over the goal.
Good positive play from Brown. Gets him behind Aubrey, picks it up. A lot of players there would look to pass it there. He decides to go by himself, goes past a few TFC players, just gets underneath his left foot. You can see why Shenzhen Ruby, they play in the first division in China, one below the Super League over there, paid so much money for him. Scored a hat-trick in his first game for the Shenzhen. Sven-Goran Eriksson's actually the manager there right now, former England manager.
Here's Uccello, being chased down by Schaefer, and will try to find Spencer, but not able to do so as he certainly felt the pressure from Marcel Schaefer.
It's still good, though, from Uccello. A big difference from last week against Bethlehem. The two midfielders are really driving the team forward, whether it's with runs or in possession. It gets the team up the pitch.
Uccello trying to get in behind again. Hundle there as well.
Pass back.
Toronto are arguing that exact case.
I think it was a pass back. Lowe's first touch is too good for it to come off him like that.
And Jason Bent having a word with fourth official Alexis Vaughn. We'll get a second look at that when we get a moment. Our broadcast perches right above fourth official Alexis Vaughn. She's very often the fourth official here, and it's so often to see her sort of pacing the sidelines, talking to the coaches, almost playing peacekeeper. They're always in her ear.
It's a rubbish job, fourth official. I don't know why anyone would want it.
Well defended there by Ulseth, but it takes a funny hop off the turf and comes right to Neil Collins, who continues the Tampa Bay attack. Left now for Luke Bowden. Bowden tries to cross it in. I think Ulseth got a piece of that. Uccello volleys it forward, and it comes to the feet of Damian Lowe.
Ulseth and Mitch Tannermat have done a great job down TFC's right side, stopping this attack of Tampa Bay. They're very good down the left side. Bowden getting around Ristoff. They cause so many problems down in Tampa.
Camargo sends that cross field for Morgan. Ashton Morgan. Played 45 minutes last week. He's now up over 50 today. As I mentioned earlier, I expect we'll see him for at least an hour, if not more.
Got a ready-made replacement in Telfer to come off the bench if need be. We'll probably see him play maybe 60 minutes.
And we've just seen walking over to the Tampa Bay bench. That's Justin Chavez, who was subbed off in the first half. He is walking with crutches, not putting any weight on his right leg. So for the Tampa Bay Rowdies fans who are at home watching, it appears to be some sort of right leg injury to Justin Chavez, significant enough for him to be walking on crutches for the moment. And so certainly not positive news for Tampa Bay in that regard. But they've mounted an attack here, not able to connect that second pass there. Let's take another look at the potential pass back here.
There's another good ball in behind from TFC2.
Goes off the knee.
Goes off his
of Damian Lowe.
Good spot, Matt. Hawkeye.
Well, I'm gonna deflect the praise here. Somebody in the truck spotted that. Our producer Kyle Hall whispered it in my ear that it was off the knee. So somebody in the truck found it. And, they often make us sound much smarter than we are, Terry. At least me anyway. You're smart. There's Ristoff, pulls that one down well. What a save by Cavalluzzo, diving to his left.
We were just talking about Ristoff's movement. Excellent outside to in run. Lowe's quality picks him out. Excellent diagonal. Easily could have come out here to the left back Bowden. Great ball in behind. Ristoff makes that outside to in run. And in one move almost off his chest, half volley. Cavalluzzo's up for it, tips it round for a corner kick.
That was a rocket off the right foot. of Georgi Ristov. Corner here for the Rowdies. Played in, headed, punched away. And the referee is going to award the free kick to Toronto. Let's get another look here at the save by Cavalluzzo.
I love it from Ristov. Such sexy soccer, how in one sequence he's able to take it off his chest, bounces, and then catches it on the half volley. Great save from Cavalluzzo. It's a save he should make, but excellent football all the way around. Just on that corner kick, it's great to see Cavalluzzo learning. In his first game away at Orlando, he came for a cross, drops it. Orlando score their first goal. They end up winning 3-1. I'd like to see him, it's great to see him learning, developing from that, comes out, punches that one, gets a protection. Not sure if it was a foul, but it's great to see him learning from his mistakes and not making the same mistake twice.
Hard foul there. The victim down on the turf is Alseth. And it's, dangerous challenge there. Yeah, that's Schaefer.
Just goes over top of the ball with his stud, Schaefer.
He's been booked as well.
Yeah, yellow card.
Yellow card issued in the 50th minute to Tampa Bay's Marcel Schaefer.
So now one yellow card aside. Nothing new for Tampa Bay, though. Entering the match, 19 yellow cards, tied for the second most in the league. An aggressive team. Not anything wrong with that, but something worth noting. Hundle trying to chase down Nanchoff. He is able to get him, but Nanchoff, Ristov trying to play that into the middle, but it was met by Brandon Aubrey.
Good play from Nanchoff. Great little change of pace. You can see how hard he has to hit that ball on the ground to really get it in between the center half and fullbacks, how slow the turf is.
Here's Bowden. Bowden crosses in. Comes down, Cavalluzzo makes a save. It was deflected there in the middle. I think Darwin Jones was the one who got the touch to it for Tampa Bay.
Great move from the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Left side starting to heat up a little bit. Comes out wide to Bowden on this beautiful left foot. It's an absolute wand. Joel Cole takes everyone to the near post. Jones coming in. Ashton Morgan does just enough to put him off. Fortunately, it's right at Cavalluzzo for TFC2.
Morgan now looking for Spencer. He gets a touch to it, but it's saved by Matt Pickens.
TFC giving exactly what Tampa Bay Rowdies just gave to them. Ashton down the left-hand side, great ball in. It just skips up off the turf. Possibly Ben Spencer could have got on that with his head. Great ball into that channel between the defenders and keeper from Ashton Morgan.
And if we thought there might be a more conservative brand of soccer after that entertaining first half, the first 15 minutes of this second half have not disappointed. Offside flag is up. And Joe Cole and the rest of the Rowdies are not pleased.
I think that ball from low just caught Joe Cole on his heels. He looked about half a yard offside for me.
We're going to see the second substitution for Jason Bent's side as Ryan Telfer is coming in for Ashton Morgan. And so it was a full hour, up from 45 minutes for Ashton Morgan as he continues working his way back from that foot injury sustained in preseason.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's metatarsal. It's happened a couple times to him. I think he's built on his performance at BMO last week.
Absolutely.
I thought he was excellent. Defensively, wasn't caught out once. Great quality there at the end. He definitely has that in the locker with his left foot. He's got excellent delivery. He might not go past someone, but if he gets half a yard, he really can whip a great ball into the box. I remember playing with him for TFC. Whenever he had that ball out wide, Matt, and I was in the middle of the park, I would gamble every time I'd get in that box. You knew he was always going to deliver it.
Just looking at his facial expressions and his body language as he was coming off, he looked like someone who was satisfied with the shift he put in tonight.
Yeah, it's great. It's all that hard work he's put in the gym, on that training pitch. It's great to see it coming to fruition tonight.
Yellow card here coming to Ben Spencer as the intensity is picked up a little bit here. As the offensive chances have in the start of this second half, we've seen the physicality of the game increase as well.
It's great to see TFC2 being positive, defending high, the front two working hard. They're not just sitting back and letting Tampa Bay come onto them.
Free kick lofted in. Cavalluzzo goes up to get it. And that's a yellow card to Collins as he made contact with Cavalluzzo.
Little petulant from Collins there. No need to do that.
Fans, stay up to date with the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 9 on Sirius XMFC, Channel 85. Don't forget, Sirius XMFC will air the USL Game of the Week. Check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. So it's 3 yellow cards in the span of the last 5 minutes.
It's tough for Shaynard. Once you start giving that first yellow out, you sort of set a precedent, and a couple of the yellow cards have been a little bit soft.
There have been 2 on each side. Spencer draws the foul there. Luke Bowden. Frazier takes that right away, and that was not in the right spot. And Tampa Bay voicing that protest as Spencer sent, or excuse me, that was Liam Frazier took the free kick probably about 10 yards away from where the foul was committed. And we've seen the referees be very particular about that in the past, about where that free kick is supposed to be taken from. Not so this time. Bowden. Back for Collins. It's not quite the supporter section, Terry, but we've got a group of about 5 or 6 young lads out in the stands there that they have been singing pretty much the entire match.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's great for the local kids to come out here and watch professional soccer. You know, maybe they leave here and say, you know what, I want to try this tomorrow. And that's how it all starts. When I was 5, I first went to a Whitecaps game at Swangard, not the biggest venue, and all of a sudden I was hooked. And here I am 30 years later still talking about it.
There's a nice shot of the kids.
Little punks.
There are worse things for them to be doing on a Friday night.
No, it's great. I even saw the Viking chant happen at one point in the first half.
Well, the ice cream truck looks like it's just pulling in, so I think the chants may subside for a few minutes. There's Tampa Bay working down the right side with Jones. Darwin Jones working against Onconi. And this is out for a corner.
Great 1v1 defending from Onconi. Gets down low. It's not easy for a big man. He has his feet moving. Ristov's delivery, sorry, Nanchov's delivery is excellent.
Delivers this one again, going to the back post. It was Collins. He was trying to pick out, I believe.
Yeah, he overhits it.
Overcooked it?
Overcooked it. Just got underneath it a little bit too much. He's also got a little bit of wind working in his favor, which really whips that ball in, that in-swinger. They definitely have some big boys that come forward. You've got Collins, Lowe, Brown up top, Schaefer. Stuart Campbell, the gaffer of the Tampa Bay Rowdies, has been a little bit disappointed. We can see him here on the touchline. Just wanting a little bit more quality on the set pieces.
Spencer was whistled for the foul there. This takes a deflection. Cavalluzzo out to meet it.
young keepers look very assured in there. Fantastic story. Left, went to college, was working, coaching within the academy, coaching part-time, and ton of injuries last season. They gave him an opportunity, and he looks really comfortable this year. He doesn't take a minute on the training ground for granted, just loves football.
You can tell he's a guy who was not expected to get many minutes when he wears number 80.
Good point. Yeah, it's initially it was a bit of a Rowdies story, but now you know what, he's more than that. He's really taken this opportunity with both hands. And
there's Cole, finds the back of the net. Joe Cole, Tampa Bay have equalized.
I'd be lying if I didn't say I felt like it was coming a little bit. Tampa Bay had been dangerous down that right-hand side. Jones getting forward, gets 1v1 with Telford. Telford needs to get a little bit closer. He has to stop this cross. Just creates half a yard, cuts it back. Right place, right time. Joe Cole, that's tons of experience. He's been in that spot so many times. Very instinctive, just gets, pulls off Aubrey's shoulder and then tucks it away, gives Cavalluzzo no chance.
Goal in the 68th minute for Joel Cole. That's his third this season for the Rowdies. And just as we were, not that it was to his fault, but just as we said the praises of Cavalluzzo, the shutout goes for naught. And Tampa Bay looking for another now.
Yeah, he was let down by his defenders, really. It's easy when that ball's out on that right-hand side to be ball watching what's going on. You need to be side on, you need to be checking your shoulder, you need to see where your man is. And Liam Fraser, who's done an excellent job so far for 68 minutes, just loses Joe Cole.
Cole looking for more, but Onconi gets in the way of that. Played back for Cavalluzzo. So with just over half an hour to go, we essentially restart. We're back at level. Alseth, Hundle, Camargo. Try to find Hundle again. Uccello battling with Lowe. It's Lowe who will come away from it. Jones again up that right side. Telford chasing him. Onconi steps in.
Onconi times it to perfection. An excellent tackle. Just gets away from Jones. Onconi sees his opportunity and he snaps into that tackle. Great tackle from the left-sided center half.
Jones and Onconi coming together there while they are down. We'll take another look from the net cam. That's Joe Cole's third of the season.
Great movement. It just pulls off of Aubrey. Just that half yard creates that space.
Uccello now. Frazier. Telfer. Collins heads forward for Lowe.
The ex-Seattle Sounder player Jones on the right-hand side here. He's causing all sorts of problems.
He's with it again.
Maybe she'll stop coming over here. She says if you guys aren't moving or stretching, then
Bowden. Manchoff. Christoph. Collins. This will be out for a corner.
Tampa doing a very good job of just creating an overload out wide on the right-hand side, on the left-hand side here to prevent that. Liam just needs to come over the holding midfielder. Just give a little bit more protection to their wide players.
Left-footed Nanchoff. Swing it in again. Comes down. Cole had a touch to it. Not sure which Toronto defender was able to send it back the other way. But Tampa Bay looking dangerous. Let's see if we can decipher exactly what happened on that corner.
Excellent ball from Nanchoff. The two Tampa Bay players here actually get in one another's way. Brown and Cole, they both go for it. And Uccello does an excellent job on the line. Just with his thigh, gets it out of danger.
Here's Hundle. Jones been working up that right side, now on the left here.
Very good defender, 1v1, Elseth, especially in open space. It's not easy when you don't have a ton of protection. Very rarely do you see players go past him.
Bowden. It's Brown. Again for Bowden.
Good defending from Elseth again there. Bowden just tries to force it a little bit.
Camargo. Aubrey. Camargo. Telfer. A little trouble bringing that down, but able to get it again, and there's Nanchoff. Elseth able to get a head to it.
Crucial head. If it beats him there, Jones is in. Great tackle from Nanchoff in the middle of the park. Ball just gets away from Telfer and he's all over him, and then hits a great diagonal.
Jones cross, Elseth all over him once again. Forces it out for a corner.
TFC need to do a better job than the last corner kick from this side. Just lost their men in the middle.
Uccello is once again stationed on the goal line at that back post. It worked once.
Cavalluzzo's not the biggest keeper. He's not going to come off his line. The defenders have to.
And they're going to whistle Tampa Bay here as it's put into the goal, but after the whistle,
handball.
I heard the yells of handball, but hard to tell which side was advocating for it.
Aubrey, again, it happened to him once in the first half. Just gets caught underneath it. Collins has got to run onto it. Watch Aubrey here on the replay. He gets under, sorry, you won't see it here. He gets actually underneath it. Joe Cole a little bit unlucky. Doesn't look like it hits his arm there, but at the back post on that first ball, Collins gets over top of Aubrey.
There's Hundle. Camargo. Looked like he might have just slipped, but they're going to whistle Schaefer. We're going to see the third and final substitution for Toronto. It's Brian James coming in for Sergio Camargo.
Excellent day for Camargo. Sets a goal up. Some great forward runs from midfield. Worked his socks off. Very good in possession. Very rarely do you see him give the ball away.
Telfer lifts in for Uccello. Here's James. James, his first touch of the match. Dispossessed. Tampa Bay countering.
Since the goal, Tampa's really stepped it up a level, especially defensively. They're pressing extremely hard in 2s and 3s.
Toronto has used the 3 substitutions. Tampa Bay still has 2 at their disposal, but it does look like Martin Patterson is ready to go. He's got his game shirt on. And walking over towards the 4th official now. And Mike Heebe coming in for Joe Cole. Frazier, Uccello, Frazier. Behind Telfer, he'll collect it. Powers his way up that left-hand side. Runs into Damian Lowe, and it's going to be a Toronto free kick. Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com.
Great strength from Telfer to hold off a few challenges, eat up some yards, draws a free kick.
Jones for Lowe. Pushed in, Cavalluzzo out to meet the cross.
Great to see him taking charge there. You can hear him shout from here. As a defender, you love to hear that when your keeper comes out and takes charge.
Frazier dispossessed, and here's Jones. Frazier a little too aggressive, trying to win it back. It'll be a free kick for Tampa Bay from about 25 yards out. So it's going to be Deshaun Brown who is subbed out for Patterson. Nacho Cole.
I thought Brown was excellent. Possibly the best center forward I've seen at the Ontario Soccer Center. I thought he was excellent. His movement was great. Held the ball up. Didn't get his goal, but a real threat in behind. I like him. Patterson comes in. Real live wire. Chases everything down. I remember playing against him in England. Won't give you a second.
Patterson has the goal! Seconds into his appearance, Martin Patterson gives Tampa Bay the lead. His second of the season.
Jason Bent will be so disappointed. It comes from a foul that TFC2 didn't need to commit. Liam Fraser tries to make up for giving the ball away, commits the foul. TFC2 were under pressure, under set pieces. Header at the back post, and then on the second phase, Patterson, he's in the right place, just tucks it home. TFC2 were losing too many headers on corners, on set pieces, and they were they were punished for it. Nothing Cavalluzzo can do again.
So with 10 minutes to play, now Toronto finds themselves chasing it. And here's Telfer for James.
Great delivery from Nanchuk. When he came on, we said it straight away. He's got excellent quality on corners, free kicks, and we saw it right there. Just floats it into the back post. TFC2 lose that first header, and there's not a TFC player in sight of Patterson. Stuart Campbell's looking very clever. The Tampa Bay Rowdies gaffer scores within 10 seconds of coming in off the bench.
This is his 6th appearance of the season. All 6 have been as a substitute.
What a player to bring off the bench. He's played in the Premier League, mainly played in the Championship over in England. Had a short spell at Orlando City a couple years ago, kept picking up injury after injury, ended up going back to England. And then he's come back to North America. He looks fit, looks sharp. He's a nightmare for defenders, Matt. He closes everything down. And he's clinical, 37 goals in 151 appearances for Burnley.
Comes down for Cole. There's Jones. Jones! And it's 3 second-half goals for Tampa Bay.
TFC need to get their heads up. It's tough. It's such a young squad. This is where it's nice to have a little bit of experience out there. Great play from Jones, probably the best player in the second half on the pitch. He's caused all sorts of problems on the right, the left, back to the right-hand side here. Comes out here to Jones. Joe Cole plays it out to him. TFC2 do it right. They double team. Center half steps out. Liam Frazier. He comes across, so unlucky. Deflects off him into the top corner. Telfer and Frazier need to get closer to him, though. You can't give anybody on the edge of the box even half a yard. You'll be made to pay, especially with the quality of some of these Tampa Bay Rowdy players.
Play down the right side for Alseth. Alseth crossing in, trying to pick out Spencer. 3 goals in 14 minutes for the Tampa Bay Rowdies, and they have snatched a 3-1 lead.
It's concentration for me. One's a set piece that comes off a free kick that should never have happened. The second one there, for 82 minutes, they've defended like men. They've been incredible. They've backed one another up. They just switch off a little bit, give Jones a little bit of space, and he punished him. Great strike with his left foot.
Yellow card there for Oyvind Alseth. Aggressive challenge there on Georgi Ristov.
The players are all, I understand it, there's frustration, they're shaking their heads. They put so much into this game, and to be down 3-1, it's difficult.
Schaefer. Collins. Low.
Full credit to Tampa Bay, though. They've not changed the way they've played. They've not panicked. They've kept passing the ball. And in the end, they probably worn TFC2 down a little bit.
Patterson. Cole. Gets around Aubrey, but not around Liam Frazier. Now Uccello.
Good covering from the number 6. Comes over, takes it off of Joe Cole. I don't think at 35 Joe Cole is going to be running the channels there.
Tainter. Alseth not able to connect with Brian James.
Good idea. Tried to play it into Alseth. Good run from James off him. Alseth might have been better taking 2 touches there.
Hundle trying to find Spencer. Low steps up, but sends it out of play. Frazier. Telfer. Telfer slips a little bit, now carries it in. Telfer, Hundle, Hundle! Can't find it.
Oh, he has to hit the target there, and doesn't he just know it? Excellent play down the left-hand side from Telfer. He's strong, he's direct, he's powerful, he bullies a couple of Tampa players, picks out Hundle's first touch is excellent, and he just misses at the near post. At a minimum there, Matt, he's got to hit the target.
The USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com and follow on Twitter at USL.
Vingard, he's just come on for Joe Cole here. He's only got the 9 caps for Denmark, 32 years of age. He's played for Copenhagen, won the Superliga. Not a bad guy to bring on to ice the game.
Just speaks to the depth of talent that we have been talking about throughout the night on this Tampa Bay roster. And we're going to see another yellow card here. This one is going to be to Michael Nanchoff.
Great test, though, for the young TFC2 players, and it'll be a real learning experience for their development to play against some real seasoned pros. I think they matched them for probably 60 minutes. And then if I'm brutally honest, the quality in the end probably just came through, Matt.
Yeah, as you mentioned, I think it was when Cole equalized in the 68th minute, you said that you could feel it building, or you could feel it coming. So they were probably hard done by not to have had a goal through 68 minutes for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, in the second half as well, I think the wind at their backs has helped a little bit. TFC, I said that they press, and they have worked hard from the front, but they were a little bit, as the half drew on, pinned back. And in particular, Tampa Bay, been very good out wide. And that's one of the weaknesses to this 3-5-2 system, is when the two sort of outside center halves get isolated in 1v1 situations. We're seeing Onconi, he's been dragged out wide a fair bit. He doesn't want to be outside in that channel. I think Mitch Tainter and Alseth have been better down this side.
And as well,
Miss Peters as well, possibly in the second half.
I was just going to say that, as well as we talked about how Toronto defended well. 2 changes. Peters at the start of the second half and Morgan in the 61st minute. It was 1-0 Toronto at that point. Not to say that they would have made a difference, but those two were playing very well defensively for Toronto.
Good point, Matt.
And you wonder how things might have been different if Peters doesn't get the knock and can play the full 90. Obviously, Morgan was never going to play more than the 60, but
Peters is a big boy as well, and very aggressive and active on set pieces. And they missed his height as well. That's where the second goal comes from.
And it's not a knock on Coney and Telfer, who replaced them. Just to say that those two were defending very well when they were in.
Last 20, 30 minutes, Spencer's run out of gas a little bit.
And again, that's something that you've talked about. Remember, he's still not that far removed from a pretty major knee injury.
He's done brilliant to make it this far, and credit to the club for backing him. He's now signed a first-team contract. Yeah, huge upside with him. Just needs a goal for his confidence, badly. Had a chance in the first half at the back post. It's difficult. Not many big men at 6'4" can take a ball like that and then keep the team, move the team up the ball. A real focal point. It's not easy on his knee, too, playing on this surface. Ideally, he'd be playing on grass every week.
Do you think he gets a start against Ottawa for TFC?
Possibly. Tosaint Ricketts has come into the fold. He's done well. Jordan Hamilton, he needs a game. I think
just with so many games that the first teams had to play in MLS competition in the last 3 weeks.
It'd be nice to see him travel for that Canada Cup game, at least be in the 18, be involved, be back around it.
Foul on Patterson here.
Javinko's picked up a knock. He'll be out for 3 or 4 weeks with a thigh strain. So,
is there anybody on TFC2 that you think might benefit from, I hate to say it, I hate to phrase it like that, but another significant injury with the first team is Nick Hagelin, going to be out a couple of months, it looks like. How do you see that?
Do I see a player that could possibly make the step? Who might the next one be? I'd probably say Peters, but he's come off injured. Alseth, I think he could do a job. Would he go there and stand out? Probably not. I've been impressed with Camargo in midfield. And I think the fans would like to see, possibly at some point this year, Sean Hundo maybe get a short cameo.
with all the, you know, we talked about the injury up front to Javinko and maybe wanting to rest Altidore and maybe resting Ricketts as well. I wonder if we see Raheem Edwards play more of an attacking role with the first team like he did here with TFC2 last year. He certainly adapted to that midfield role very well in Greg Vanny's system so far this season, but you know,
he's been excellent.
Something he's capable of for sure.
He's been different class, and I'll be honest, he surprised me how well Raheem Edwards has done. He's taken everything in his stride. He's not been phased. And his final product, the one thing we were knocking over the past 2 seasons that he's missed, he's really had. Some of the assists the other night in Columbus, he set up both goals, but that first one, we felt the ball into the box, drew a penalty last week. He's been very good, and you can't take him out of the team at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And he is, at this point, sort of the inspiration for a lot of these players here on this pitch tonight, showing what the hard work at this level can do and where it can take you.
For sure, 100%, 100%, Matt. And all the best to the first team tonight. They're away in New York playing the Red Bulls, looking for their 7th consecutive win.
Just nearing a MLS record.
Yeah.
I saw you tweet that out earlier today.
Two more. They matched the MLS record for consecutive wins in a single season.
There is the final whistle. A strong push in the second half from the Tampa Bay Rowdies. 3 goals in a span of 14 minutes from Joe Cole, from Martin Patterson, and from Darwin Jones. It's a 3-1 Tampa Bay final, Terry.
You know what? Every single TFC2 player out there can walk off that pitch with their head held high. You know, I think they gave everything, Matt, and sometimes that's not quite enough. I think in the end, the quality, the experience in this Tampa Bay roster was enough to see them over the line. It took them right to their bench for Patterson to come on, but an excellent performance.
After this. Full time in Toronto is the Tampa Bay Rowdies 3, Toronto FC 2, 1. A strong performance, but ultimately no points on the evening for TFC 2 as they come up against a strong side from Tampa Bay, who certainly showed why they are in second place in the Eastern Conference, Terry.
Yeah, I thought Tampa were excellent, and in the second half, they brought it to another gear. Out wide, they caused lots of problems down the flanks, and up top in Brown, Patterson coming off the bench, Joe Cole. They had so much firepower. In the end, it was too much for a young TFC2 team, but they can keep their heads held high. I thought they really matched them step for step all the way through probably 70 minutes. I thought in particular in midfield, Camargo was excellent. Uccello got his goal. Liam Fraser, he did a very good job on Joe Cole. And Peters, unfortunately, he had to come off at halftime with a knock. I thought the Trinidadian, on the back of signing a full-time contract, he was very good today.
There are your full-time stats. You see a very aggressive game. 34 fouls in total. The referee certainly had her whistle out all evening. 5 yellow cards in total.
I think that goes towards the intensity and the tempo of the game. It was extremely high. Both teams were really going for it and so committed.
An excellent match here at the Ontario Soccer Centre. High-paced, a lot of chances both ways. As Terry mentioned, a lot of aggression and a lot of action, but ultimately a 3-1 Tampa Bay victory. We'll be back on Wednesday at noon. The Richmond Kickers are in town. Toronto wraps up a 3-game homestand. For Terry Dunfield and the rest of our crew, I'm Matt Antonio. Enjoy the long weekend. Have an excellent Friday night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.
Job, crew. Yeah, Terry said he was going to. Really nailed it too. Yeah. Well, he even said it too. It's like normally this time the sun is just like killing our cameras.
To leave it up for a minimum of 8 minutes. Right.
They actually made, I think they made it like
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I sit down there with Ellie for a little bit just seeing where he was.
So when I call him, I'll tell him to call you.
All right, who's back to what?
Oh, no. Okay. No.
Oh, it's true. Yeah.